94.3 The Dude is very grateful to our men and women in uniform. We're proud to recognize local members of our military by turning the spotlight on them right now in our Soldier Salute.
I'm your host, United States Marine Corps veteran Ethan Stitch Gardner, and on today's Soldier Salute, I have United States Marine Reservist and Secretary of Veterans Affairs for the University of South Carolina, Bobby Herpel. Bobby, thanks for being here with me today. Thanks for your service. Really appreciate you coming in today. Tell me a little bit about your story and your road to the United States Marine Corps Reserves.
Yes, so I dropped out of college, actually, way back when. I believe that was 2013. I chose the Marine Corps Reserves just because I had no track or any kind of discipline in my life, so that's kind of what I was searching for. I got kicked out of my house. I was homeless for a little bit. And, I mean, it was rough times, really. And the Marine Corps truly saved my life. It really, I truly, honestly believe it did. Then once I got back from the Marines, I checked into my unit and checked back into school, and the rest is history.
That's awesome. So, as you told me in your pre-interview, the Marine Corps led you to a 3.5 GPA, stellar records on your schooling. I mean, that's got to be just an incredible accomplishment for you.
Yes, actually, I joke about it because I was a West Coast, the Hollywood Marine, where they're actually hills, not like they are East Coast.
Very flat in Parris Island. I'm a Parris Island Marine, so very, very flat here, yeah.
So I joke like, I hiked many hills in the months leading up to coming back to school, but that was a mountain that I wasn't sure I could accomplish. And I did. Yeah, I started with 5 Fs on my transcript with a 0.00 GPA. And yes, I graduated president of 2 clubs, vice president of another club. I was a student worker in the Veterans Affairs office and with a 3.5. And then after graduating with my associate's degree, I took a semester off, saved up some money, worked in the financial aid office. So it was really cool going from a student to faculty literally within that week at the community college. And I moved to South Carolina and enrolled in classes at USC.
Bobby, thanks so much for being here. Thanks for your service. I am a shadow of the man that I was before the United States Marine Corps boot camp. From your story and the hardships that you faced before, it sounds like it is the exact same for you, just the shadow of a person that you used to be.
Absolutely. Life is hard. The older you get, the harder it gets. I mean, it doesn't get any easier. And the Marine Corps taught me how to handle that. Pre-Marine Corps Bobby, before he turned into Herpel, he just, no direction. Had no idea what I was doing, didn't know how to handle it either. Anytime times got hard, I just resorted to drinking. Really, that was my escape. That was my clutch. Completely threw my life away. The Marine Corps, it taught me that life is hard, but to have that strong foundation, to have that discipline, that to deal with those hard times. Which that's the Marine Corps. That's what it is. You train to fight. Well, fighting's not a cakewalk, and that's what it is. It's discipline to fight through those battles, whether it's in uniform or outside uniform. And as a reserve, I'm outside uniform more than I am, but the Marine Corps taught me to fight through those hard times.
No Marine ever forgets. What's your drill instructor's names?
Absolutely not. My senior drill instructor, Sergeant Wilson, now Gunny Select Wilson, he was the most motivating, intimidating man I've ever met in my entire life. So yeah, there was Sergeant Wilson, Sergeant McDonald, Sergeant Alvarado, and Sergeant Diaz.
Bobby, thanks so much for being here. Thanks for your service. You're a member of the United States Marine Corps Reserves. Not a whole lot of Americans realize that the Marine Corps has a reserve unit. There's a lot of people out there that want to serve their country, but they can't uplift their whole lives to get out there and do a 9-to-5 every day for 4 years on active duty. Tell us about the benefits of serving your country while in the reserves.
Yes, and I get that all the time. Wow, I didn't know the Marine Corps had reserves, and it's the exact same as the Guard. It's the same for any other branch, but for the Marine Corps Reserves is what it is. And yes, so being a student, I take 18 credit hours. I work 40 hours a week, and I still hold the title of that United States Marine. And I still go to drill the 1 week in a month, 2 weeks out of the summer. So that's kind of what it is. So the benefits of being at Reserves is by the fact that I'm still actively drilling. I rate 45% of tuition at Carolina. South Carolina is a yellow ribbon state in the academic world. And what that means is, yes, in-state, out-of-state, you pay 45% of tuition if you're still actively drilling. That being said, if I went to any other state in the country, I would get $380 a month, and that would be it. This way, I'm not even using my benefits, and I'm still gaining that. So for those that don't think they can do it all, you really can. You really, really can. And the Reserves is a great way to do that.
If you'd like to learn more about the United States Marine Corps Reserves, you can go online to www.marines.com or pay a friendly visit to your local recruiting station. Bobby, thanks so much for being here. Thanks for your service. I had the pleasure of having Jared Evans, Brooks Herring in the studio a couple times. They are big in the University of South Carolina and the Student Veterans Association. I want to hear it from you. Tell me why, as the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, that you think that veterans need to start coming to the University of South Carolina.
Yes, Stitch. The state of South Carolina is home to the second most veterans in the nation per capita.
Wow.
And among that, at USC, we have close to 600 student veterans, as well as over 800 veteran spouses, as well as children. And among that, there's hundreds of clubs that you can join. So if the military is your thing and you're having a weird transition, you want to hang out with other vets, you can do that. But also, if you don't want to hang out with other vets, if the military wasn't your thing and you want anything to do from it, I mean, there's a spot for everyone at USC. There really is.
That's awesome, man. For the veterans that kind of want to separate themselves a little bit from the military, maybe it wasn't for them, they don't want to surround themselves with all of that again, and that's totally fine. What are some of the things that are available to them at the university?
Yes, so I play rugby at Carolina, actually. We have a fantastic club team, and just from them, the guys that practice in the field next to us is a Quidditch club. I mean, there's literally something for everyone, and you cannot imagine how many different clubs there are. And the SVA, I mean, I'm a very, very active member in the SVA, and I'd say the best friends that I've made at Carolina, besides student government, is from rugby and SVA members.
The University of South Carolina is really heavily invested in their veterans. They really are. But as a veteran at the school, you don't have to be heavily invested in the veteran community.
No.
But USC still has open arms, says, come here, come get an education with us, come be a part of us.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, it is Student Veterans America. It's not Veterans Students Association, so yeah, but we are. I mean, it's a lot easier for veterans to get into college, to be accepted to their college at the university. And yeah, we do welcome with open arms, and there's plenty for any veteran to do.
Bobby, thanks so much for being here. You're the Secretary of Veterans Affairs for the University of South Carolina, the Student Veterans Association. I'm hopefully going to be accepted to USC next year. I'm really, really hoping that I am, purely for the fact that I want to be a member of the SVA. I hear about all the things that you guys do in the community. It's incredible. Tell me more about what the Student Veterans Association does.
Yes, so I get kind of the best of both worlds. So I'm Secretary of Veterans Affairs for student government, and then I'm a direct liaison for like the SVA. So anything that student government wants to do for veterans, I go directly to SVA. Anything that the SVA partners with student government, I go to them like, hey, I need this kind of funding, etc. So what we just did was our Veterans Day 5K, and this is our second annual one. And I don't have the liberty to give the exact number, but we raised over 4 times as much money as we raised last year, and all of the benefits are going to the Fisher House.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it is. It's truly incredible. The SVA stands for Student Veterans Association, but it's also a chapter of the Student Veterans of America. And what that is every big university in the nation has like this chapter, and each year they meet 2 separate occasions. We have NatCon that's coming up in January that student government is funding for us to go, and we plan on sending 6 members. Our president of the SVA, Ms. Candace Parker, she represented us at another national convention that we had in Dallas, and it's meeting with like CEOs and bigwigs, and it's all student veteran leaders, and it's an amazing accomplishment for her, and really puts us on the map. Really does.
Bobby, thanks for being here. Thanks for your service. Earlier, you told me something so near and dear to your heart: the Friends of the Fisher House. You guys put on the University of South Carolina's Veterans Day 5K last week, did 4-fold what you did last year in donations directly to the Fisher House Foundation. Tell me more about this incredible organization that you have so much heart for.
Yes, so the Fisher House has many campuses across the country, you can call them. And what it is it provides free lodging for active duty military veterans, families, patients that live more than 50 miles away from set like VA facility. And ours is the Doran Hospital. October of 2020 is officially the start date of building a Fisher House here in Columbia.
That's amazing.
And it's, we talk about Veterans Day that just passed. And I love more than anything is especially a child or anyone come up to you and saying, thank you for your service. And so oftentimes we forget that it's not just those in uniform that are serving. It's their spouses, their children back home, and that's the Fisher House. Thank you for your service, really.
It takes a really, really special spouse on both sides of the spectrum, male or female, to be a military spouse. It takes a really, really special person, and I think that the Fisher House is doing an incredible job of thanking those men and women. How many veterans or active duty members of the military is the Fisher House currently helping out?
Currently, there's over 90,000 across the nation that are being treated.
That's incredible. If you'd like to learn more about an incredible organization helping out the family members of wounded veterans and active duty personnel, you can go online to www.fisherhousecolumbiasc.org. Bobby, thanks for being here. Thanks for your service. During Marine Corps boot camp, you were put in a situation that nobody wants to be put in, but you saved a guy's life, and the mentality that you left with changed your life forever.
Yeah, absolutely. This one night I was on fire watch, and this kid, I was on second deck, and I saw him kind of like sneaking around. I didn't know what he was doing, so I followed him, and long story short, he was going to commit suicide. He was going to jump off third deck. And I stopped him, kind of had, a normal conversation, not like the whole, oh, don't do it, but just, wanted to talk to him, because you don't know what's going on in his head. After that, I just made a point, send him back to his rack, and then every day I'd, hey, how you doing? Like, you doing okay, man? Hey, one day closer to graduation, back to your family, just, little motivating things. And it was a week before graduation, he came up to me and, tears in his eyes, like, hey, I just want to say, like, you didn't just save my life that night. I mean, you truly motivated me all through boot camp. Like, I love you. I appreciate you. Like, thank you for saving my life. And I guess that's my message is every day. A wrestling coach told me in high school, printed on our back shirts in high school, is MAD. Now I'm mad, and it stands for making a difference. And so I like to stay mad every day in everything that I do, and I want to make a difference. And if I'm not making a difference, then what am I really doing?
Making a difference, stay mad. That's awesome. It sounds like to me, from all of our time talking, that you stay mad, making a difference in every aspect of your life that you can.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those, don't be afraid to aim high and miss rather than aim low and hit.
Absolutely.
I'm sure that was like a quote from someone of historical importance. That was a business professor at my community college that told me that, and I really, really took that to heart. And I like to live my life by that, is to motivate others and try and do the absolute best I can in anything I do.
Stay mad every day. Make a difference.
Thanks for joining us in our Soldier Salute, presented by Little Pig's Barbecue, serving Columbia since 1963 with that bodacious buffet. And Palmetto State Armory, American made for life. And Franklin Equipment, rent, buy, rely. And Atkins Law Firm Workers' Comp Attorneys. Who you hire matters.